That's no moon.
Hey guys, we are back again to talk about Rogue One. It's been out for a while now, a few days, so if you haven't seen it yet, then what are you
Spoilers.
doing? But here is a solid spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie, we have a spoiler-free review you can check out. But anyway, let's get straight into some Rogue One spoilers.
So the biggest thing, I think, is that all those rebels end up dead.
Well,
It's
yeah.
pretty big. I don't think there's a single one of the rebel crew that you see in this poster behind us
Yeah.
that survives.
What a way to start the video off, huh? But yeah.
Get into the biggest point. Every single person on that poster dies. Jin,
Cassian Andor.
Cassian, that was it.
everyone.
Cassian Andor, Riz
But-
Ahmed's character.
We'll talk about
Donnie
all
Yen's
of that. I
character.
mean, let's get into this bit of the story first before we talk
guess
about how
so.
this happens. But just straight up, you know that these characters are destined to die. And that's what I thought about it when it got announced. But, it
I
was
thought
weird
they'd
because...
just find some way of having them run away and never come back.
I mean, I thought at least Jin would survive. Because I made that video on the theory about how she could be Rey's mother.
She's not Rey's
Not gonna
mum.
happen now. But yeah, it was interesting because it's very dark for a Star Wars movie. I mean, Star Wars has been dark before. Empire Strikes Back ended on a very dark note. Han Solo was frozen in carbonite. The galaxy was in turmoil. But with this one, it's such a bittersweet ending. I don't want to talk about the very end yet because I want to save that for the very end of this video because it was just so fucking awesome. But yeah, I mean, straight away we're introduced to a younger Jin. And we find out that her father, played by Mads Mikkelsen, Galen Erso, was involved with building the Death Star, and he has to go back and sort of try and carry it on, I guess. And the Death Star is completed, and straight away we just see just a whole planet just get destroyed. And it's well, you know, I guess they're not holding back on this. But we do see in this film Grand Moff Tarkin, who...
I had major problems with
Yeah, I can understand why, but when he was introduced in the film, he's very clearly CGI'd, and it's fine because Peter Cushing died and they want to honour him because he played the role. But it looked a bit odd.
it looked very out of place.
Yeah.
And very, not poorly done, but they tried to replicate his image to an
Yeah.
exact T.
Yeah, they
to
even
the
got all his
point
little
where
facial marks and his
Yeah.
wrinkles and everything,
He
and it's
was just
okay,
he looked so out of place.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort with that, but he did look kind of weird. But anyway, so Grand Moff Tarkin is in this film, and he's obviously, you know, heavily involved with the Death Star, and he blows up this planet, and straight away we just know that they're not joking around. We know the Imperials are savage bastards. And the story is, like we said, the rebels are trying to steal the plans for the Death Star, because we know that it gets blown up in the next Star Wars movie. Spoilers if you haven't seen that one.
From 1977.
But yeah, it was just such a cool way to sort of introduce the Death Star, because we know straight away these guys they're not going to hold back. And that's how they were in the first Star Wars movie, so it was cool that they carried that on. But it was just done in a darker way and differently. Like the cinematography of it all and the lighting and the dialogue, it's different. It feels very different to what we've seen before, and I just give props to that. And so we find out that Jin was brought up by Saw Gerrera, who's played by Forrest Whitaker, and I thought he was great in this film. He's not in it a lot, actually.
No.
When the first planet gets destroyed by Tarkin, he's on that planet, because the rebels go to the planet, like Jin and Cassian and
Well,
everyone.
it's not the whole planet, is it? It's like the main city, but it wipes out a huge area.
Yeah.
I guess because they wanted to keep it in continuity, that Alderaan was like the first test of
Well,
the
yeah.
whole planet being
I was
destroyed.
surprised. We don't actually see Alderaan in the film, but we do see Bail Organa, which was
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, the rebels go to talk to Saw Gerrera, and he gets killed. But he was good in the movie. I thought he was a good
I
character.
think he's a character from the Clone Wars.
He is from the Clone Wars,
so
which
a
I
lot of
haven't-
people were like, "Oh,
Yeah, I haven't seen the entirety of Clone Wars, so I can't really say how that leads into Rogue One. But I'd like to actually watch those episodes now, because I want to know more about him. Because in this film, he's quite clearly crippled, and he has this sort of raspy voice, like,
What will you become?
you know,
a really raspy one." And he has this like oxygen breather
Yeah,
that you have
yeah.
to keep like
it's like
taking
Vader.
shots of.
It's like Vader's, but it's almost like he has
Much
to
lower tech.
physically put on the oxygen mask. But speaking of Vader, he is of course in this movie, and he's voiced by James L. Jones. The Bacta tank in the trailer that you see with all the Imperial guards around, The dude in the cloak, he was just a random guy, which was
It
kind of
wasn't
weird.
Palpatine.
But yeah, the guy in the Bacta tank is Darth Vader, and we see him in his suit. And Krennic goes to tell Vader, you know, because I better say this first. Actually, Galen Erso, it's cool because they explain how the Death Star was blown up so quickly. Like Galen Erso put a flaw into the Death Star so that the rebels could just explode the exhaust port and everything. And so we know of this flaw, and Vader has quite clearly seen that Krennic has failed. And on Vader's first appearance, you just see him force choke Krennic, which was really cool. Like that scene in the trailer where he turns around in all the smoke and you see his hand in like a force choke position. He's actually choking Krennic. And I was thinking, is this going to be Krennic's death so soon into the movie? And it's not. But it was just such a great scene. I love that scene.
Yeah, but screw that appearance. The second appearance, where basically, so the ending of Rogue One leads literally
such a cool
directly
ending.
into the Force Awakens, A New Hope.
Yeah, because you've got this big
because-
battle sequence.
Yeah, and at the end you see Leia escape on her ship, and
Yeah.
you see the Star Destroyer, which is presumably going to follow her, and then it's going to start where A New Hope, you know, starts. But before that, we see Vader basically just destroy a whole squadron of rebels, and there's this bit where it's like a shot of like they're all trying to open this door, it won't open, they turn
was
around,
so
it's a
cool.
dark
It was
corridor,
so cool.
and then all of a sudden just a red lightsaber illuminates.
I have to say,
And-
it's the darkest moment
Yeah.
I've seen in a Star Wars
He
film
just
so
wrecks
far.
all of them, he slices them, he
It
deflects
is.
the bullets, he chokes them, he slams
It's
them up on the
absolutely
wall,
savage.
or the ceiling.
I was expecting him to make like a brief cameo sort of appearance, and in that appearance I wasn't expecting much from him. I was expecting just, you know, bit of dialogue, bit of force choking, because obviously it's to be expected, but I wasn't
Some people
expecting
have that face.
to see the lightsaber. He just pulls it out and he's savaging everything, and it was the coolest moment in the entire film. I absolutely love that moment.
It was probably my favourite moment, to be fair.
The battle in this movie is probably the coolest Star Wars battle we've had. You know,
In a long time,
you've
at
got,
least.
You've got like K2SO, and
Oh, he was awesome.
He's
I like
trying to
K2SO.
shut down, you know, the system and everything, and he gets like absolutely destroyed and murdered. You've got like
much.
Jin stealing Death Star plans and climbing up to the communications tower, and then we see Cassian get shot. And we see Baze get killed, and Chirrut get killed, and Riz Ahmed's character, Bodhi Rock, he gets exploded, like, in this sort of rebel shuttle.
Yeah.
So everyone just gets murdered, and I was expecting Jin to get out, but the fact that she doesn't, and Scarif does get blown up by the Death Star, because Tarkin figures out, you know, it's fully operational now. He blows up Scarif, and obviously Krennic's on Scarif, and Jin's on Scarif, and Cassian's on Scarif. It was such an emotional moment, but by that happening, like, I was on the verge of tears at this moment.
Yeah.
But then,
I didn't actually cry, and I saw people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, there were several moments where I cried."
Yeah.
And the ending with the Jin and Cassian sitting on the beach as the explosion is about to hit, it felt like so real, and it was really poetic.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't cry, but I was like, "Jesus,
like,
man, this
it was
is."
weird, because I felt so sad, right? And then that whole Vader scene happened, and I was on the edge of my seat, like,
Two
holy
two
crap,
very different
this
emotions.
is incredible. I was on the edge of my seat, but then I was thinking, how do you go from such a sad moment to such a badass and cool moment? Because, again, that Vader moment, it's not exactly a happy moment, he's killing all of the rebels, but it's just so cool to see Vader, because we've never seen him like that before. We've never seen the savage side of him, and it was just such a good moment. And then, yeah, the very end, Princess Leia gets given the Death Star plans, and we see her again in CGI. Carrie
Yeah,
Fisher's
she's only
face
there
is like,
for a minute, and it's
Yeah.
not as jarring.
no, it's not
And
jarring.
it's just her
It
on
looks
screen.
fine. Yeah,
Like, there's someone who gives her the plans, and then it's just a close-up shot of her with Tarkin. He's always with other people, and he always
Yeah.
looks out of place and just so shitty to me.
because I read that there weren't going to be that many cameos and references to other Star Wars films, but you get a few.
Speaking of cameos, you also have a C-3PO and R2-D2 who show
I
up
love that.
very briefly.
Because it was weird, because I was thinking this is going to be the only Star Wars film with no R2 and 3PO. Nope, you see them, and C-3PO has one of his sarcastic quotes, and it was just a really great moment. I was so happy to see those guys on screen. So
It was good.
overall, this film has the best battle sequence in a Star Wars film so far.
Yeah,
the
I'd say so.
coolest Vader moment in a Star Wars film so far. It's probably the saddest Star Wars film so far.
Yeah.
And overall, it's such a great film. The more I think about it, the more I love it. I think we're seeing it again, actually.
Tomorrow.
And
well,
well,
Friday by the time you're watching
by the
this, it might
time
be
this video
yesterday.
gets released. But yeah, I cannot wait to see this film again. It'll be one of those films where you'll just talk about it for a long time. It'll tide me over until episode 8 comes out, like The Force Awakens tied me over till this came out, and I can't wait to see more Star Wars in the future. Gareth Edwards has done right by the franchise, so if anyone ever doubted him, just don't, because he's done such an amazing job with this film. And it is safe to say that Star Wars is back for good, and that makes me more than happy. So any last thoughts on Rogue One?
Pretty much everything you just said.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video, and let us know what you think of Rogue One. Do you love it as much as we do? Do you think it's a worthy addition to the Star Wars franchise, or do you hate it?
Who knows? I don't know, you tell me.
Either way, let us know, and if you hate it or like it, let us know why, because I'd be interested to know either way. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon.
It's a space station.